Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm George Conley with Scratch Golf Tips, and today we're going to be talking about every golfer's dream, the ever-elusive hole-in-one. More specifically, we're going to be talking about what it takes to make a hole-in-one, and then we're going to be talking about the metrics behind it, some strategy. But before all of that, let's talk about what a hole-in-one actually is, because it might not be exactly what you think it is. So the obvious answer to what a hole-in-one is when you hit a tee shot and that tee shot goes in the hole in one shot, but there are some logistics about it that would not allow your hole-in-one to count. Let me explain. If you're playing a par 3 golf course, if you're just playing 9 holes on a par 3 golf course, that technically wouldn't be an official hole-in-one because every hole you're playing is a par 3. Now, you can absolutely celebrate it, but to golf purists, to golf traditionalists, that may not be considered a hole-in-one. Some golf traditionalists wouldn't even consider a hole-in-one made while playing 9 holes of a regular golf course and making a hole-in-one, but the National Hole-in-One Registry does count that. The National Hole-in-One Registry also counts holes-in-one made during match play, where that match does not go to 18 holes. Now let's talk a little bit about the odds of making a hole-in-one. Generally speaking, the odds of an average golfer worldwide to make a hole-in-one is 1 in 12,500. Now, if you are of tour player caliber, your odds go down to 1 in 3,000, which is lower, but obviously still very difficult for any great golfer to make a hole-in-one. A lot of it really is luck-based. Obviously, some of it is also skill-based, and a lot of it comes down to just playing a lot of golf. Now, as of recording this video, I've been playing golf for probably 3 years regularly. During those 3 years, I'd say I probably played 20 to 25 rounds a year, and just a few days ago, I actually made my first hole-in-one. I have the ball from it. I used a Bridgestone E6 Speed. It was from 179 yards out, and I used a 7-iron. Now, I can certainly attest to making a hole-in-one being a great feeling. I wasn't 100% sure that it went in because it went past the flag and spun back, but here's the video of me walking up and discovering my ball.
Yep. Unreal.
So that's number 1 for me. Hopefully it's not the last, but I did get a little case for it. I ordered it online, just so in case it is my last, I'll be able to remember it properly. A few other interesting stats here is the average golfer waits 24 years to make their hole-in-one. That's 24 years from when they started golfing until they get it. So by all accounts of that, I am, I guess, in the minority in only playing for 3.5, 4 years, but it should matter that I am a better than average golfer. The only reason that I say that is because the average male golfer in the United States, according to the USGA, carries a 14 handicap. I am below a 14 handicap, and the average female golfer carries a 23 handicap. One last statistic about hole-in-ones that we can talk about before we get into the strategy is the average age range of a golfer, or the age range that produces the most holes in one every year, are golfers between the ages of 50 and 59. Now, golf is obviously popular amongst the older demographic, especially 50 to 59-year-olds, because those are people who are starting to work a little bit less, closer to retirement, more time to golf, and obviously they're not too old as to where they're struggling hitting the ball, so it's a great demographic. So if you're around a 14 handicap, which is the average handicap number that people make holes-in-one at, if you're a 14 handicap, you've been playing golf for 24 years, and you're between 50 and 59, I think you're in a good spot. Now let's talk about the actual strategy behind making a hole-in-one. Now, a lot of people aim right at the pin for par 3s. It's just kind of instinctive. Now, I just made a video talking about why you shouldn't always aim at the pin. You can watch that in the card on the top of your screen. That will help you learn a little bit more about when to aim at the pin, when not to aim at the pin. But for holes-in-one, aiming really isn't the problem most of the time. I'm sure anyone who's played golf at any level for any amount of time has hit a shot and it's been right at the pin. It's a great feeling, but often what's off is your distance. Golf holes about that big, your distance needs to be right there. It's a very specific area to either land it in or roll it into, but your number has to be perfect. You have to know your yardages so well. You have to have such impressive control over your distance that that's the only way that you're gonna make a hole-in-one. So what I'd say is really dial in your distances. Now, say if you have your 8-iron goes 145 yards, your 7-iron goes 160 yards, and you're pretty sure of that. Great. That's great. You have your 145 shot, you have your 160 shot. Now, what's your plan for a 150 shot? What's your plan for a 153 shot? Because that's how exact you have to be, that's how precise you have to be to really land in those particular areas. So for this particular example, if an 8-iron goes 145, a 7-iron goes 160, would you rather try and put a little bit extra on an 8-iron or knock back your 7-iron a little bit? Whatever you're more comfortable with, work on it, dial it in. If you need some type of flight monitor, obviously I'll always recommend FlightScope Mevo. The link is in the description for your FlightScope Mevo, which will allow you to understand your spin rates, your carry, your swing speed, shot trajectory, all that great stuff and more is in the description if you want to get your FlightScope Mevo. Also, that link will get you $50 off your order. So to summarize, please understand that holes in one do not define you as a golfer. There are plenty of great golfers who have never made them, and I'm sure there are some pretty cruddy golfers who have made a few. But if you continue to play golf, you continue to hit good shots, you may just find yourself in the lucky position to make your first hole-in-one. Now, I am very curious. Please comment down below your hole-in-one story. If you've come close, if you've made 1, if you've made 7, comment them down below. I love reading your comments. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to shop the apparel that I wear in these videos, I wear John Morgan Sportswear. They are a proud partner of Scratch Golf Tips. And if you're looking to shop for some more polos, hats, anything you want, they have nice pullovers in that shop. You can do all of that shopping online in the description below, and you can use code SGT2021, and that'll get you 20% off your full order. And if you spend more than $100, you get complimentary free shipping. Thank you all so much for watching once more. Play well and take care.